First question we're going to do. What's your name? Okay. It's on the next sheet, the survival questions sheet. Okay. You have this sheet. I won't specifically go over everything on this sheet. These are questions you'll hear, questions. A lot of these questions we will study in depth, and the question and the answer, how they form, why they are what they are, and practice them. Some of them we'll mention, but won't spend too much time on them. But you can kind of check with yourself periodically, halfway through the course, or when the course is finished, go down and just see how much you're familiar with. And you should be familiar with almost all of it, I would say. Okay. So the one we're doing here is, what's your name? Okay. A little bit of reading. Pete, do you want to give that a go? So you can see in the Korean, there are 3 forms, and these are the 3 forms of honor that we will be dealing with. Okay, the honorific, the common, and the casual. I will call them. Okay. First one. Good. That little part, that S down there that you weren't sure about, I'll explain right now. Okay. So you can see our what that we learned. Okay. What? Ibnika is the honorific form of the verb to be. Okay? Keep that on the back burner. We'll study it in depth next class, and we'll use that verb for 5, 6 classes, I think. Okay? Just using that verb in different questions, a lot of these questions. Okay? But this is the honorific form of a question. Okay? So, the pronunciation through here, this is a consonant, the silent consonant. So this will flow, right? This will carry up. Okay, so this will sound like she, right? We have our she, and then so we have our she, and then this our reading rule here. Okay, shimnika, muoshimnika, muoshimnika. Okay. Over here we have irami, irami. Idam is name, E is our sort of secondary subject marker, which again, we'll get into in depth later on. Idami, this M comes up, this is an M here, comes up and places this for flow. Idami, muoshimnika. Everyone, idami, 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 muoshimnika. Okay, idami, muoshimnika. Good. Okay. Ian, do you want to try the next one down?
이름이 뭐예요?
뭐예요, right. But here this part stays the same. Now you can see, for the common level, we're using our shortened version of what? And we have 뭐예요. Okay? Yeyo. Yeyo is our verb to be in the common level. This is a contracted form. This we'll get into later again. But this ends in a vowel, so this will contract in this form. Okay? So this question, this is the question, this is the part I want you to become familiar with. Okay? Your homework will be to study your vocabulary. It'll also be to become familiar with 뭐예요. 뭐예요. We heard 뭐야, okay, we talked about. This is the common level. It's more polite, it's more useful, okay? Well, you'll use it more. 뭐예요, okay? And we'll also use it with a lot of questions, okay? Not just what's your name, what is, okay? 뭐예요, what's this, what's that? So this part you'll hear a lot and use a lot. So get this kind of chunk together, okay? 뭐예요. Everyone, 뭐예요.
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 Okay, you see 뭐 and then 예. If you take this as an not a ye, not a problem. Moeo, moeo. Basically the same, okay? Not a big deal. And then yo, moeo. Okay? Everyone, irumi moeo.
Irumi moeo.
Okay? Irumi moeo.
Irumi moeo.
Okay? And the last form, Pete.
Irumi moe.
Right. Moe. Okay? Irumi moe. This is the lowest, the casual form. Okay? The lowest form. And it, again, because it follows a vowel, it is a contracted form. We'll see the full form and explain this more in detail next class. Okay? Everyone, muoshinika,
Moshinika.
moeo,
Moeo.
moya.
Moya.
Okay? These are the three levels. A little bit about the Korean sentence. Here we're stating our subject. Okay? Generally, once something is stated and you know that's what you're talking about in Korean, you will drop it. And then so most commonly with the subject. Okay? Where we would say, oh, I went down to the store and I met this person, and then, it would keep using I. They won't. They'll say I once, and then it'll just be objects and verbs and whatever you need. Okay? So, the question will use this, the answer will drop it. Okay? And now, answering this question, and this is sort of true for almost any question in Korean that we'll come across, here, our what is our mo, or our mua. Okay? Back to this. Okay. So generally your answer, you will just replace that what, or if it was a where or a when, you would just replace that with your answer. Okay? So if the question was 뭐예요, what would your answer be?
You mean
So if I asked you what's your name, 이름이 뭐예요? You would say
pizza?
Pete예요. Right. That's right. Pete in Korean. I assume that's how they write it. You've never seen it?
They write pizza.
Peter. Do you tell them your name is Peter?
I say Pete, but they
They take the full form.
Peter.
So this would be Peter. Okay. An ER will come off as Peter. Okay. Either way, both sort of the same example. This ends in a vowel. Okay? So you can use this contracted form. Okay? Okay? Peter예요. Right. Okay. And your name would be? Or the sentence would be?
Ian.
Right. So Ian's name ends in a consonant. So we're not going to use this contracted form. Keeping it in the common level, it will be I, E, Yo. Yeo, yeo. Okay? Ian이에요. Okay? Again, for flow, you can see that this is silent, so your N can come up. Okay? Just help you stick it together, a little bit more flow. Ian이에요. Okay? Ian이에요. Guys got that? Comfortable with it? Understand it? Okay? Without sort of reading the board, let's just practice. 이름이 뭐예요?
Ian.
Good. Right, that's Pete.
이름이 뭐예요?
Good.
피자예요.
Good. Yep.
이름이 뭐예요?
랍이에요. 랍.
아,
Lab ball. Is that okay? Right. So again, one thing, practice getting your flow would be this part, 뭐예요, and pitayeo or iameo. Okay, practice the flow for those two. Okay, and that's it. So your homework will be for vocab. I will also add idom, which means name, to your vocab list. Okay. So the test will be knowing the who, what, when, or why, vocab, idom, and then the question, what's your name, okay, with the subject verb, idomi moeo, okay, and being able to answer it, okay? And just remember the answer, we will drop our subject. Is that okay? Yes. Next class, we will get into this be verb. Okay, we'll get into the rules of conjugation that this uses, and we'll get into our sentence officially. Okay.